Hey y'all, Rev Tommy Two-Tone. It's Christmas time. Here we are in December. But I've been hearing Christmas music since, well, September on certain radio stations in my town. Welcome to Rantings of a Methodist Minister. Christmas version. I hate Christmas. Now, to people that know me, that's going to sound strange because the ones that know me think I love Christmas. And I do, but not Christmas as we know it today. Like this Christmas thing behind me, it's a nice tree, my wife's deal, all these little cool ornaments, everyone has a meaning for her. That's not what Christmas is, though. It's what we think Christmas is. Now, around our house we do have nativity scenes everywhere, and to me, that's not even really what Christmas is. Although everybody says Jesus is the reason for the season, you know, if you did a little research and maybe educated yourself a little bit on theology, you might find out that there are a lot of scholars who believe that Jesus was, the virgin birth story didn't even happen, it's a legend. And that that's why maybe Mark and John don't even begin Jesus' life with a Christmas story or a virgin birth. Mark, as a matter of fact, jumps right into his baptism where God says, "You are my son, people will listen to you." Or in John he says, "This is my son, listen to him, in whom I'm well pleased," when he was baptized. So a lot of scholars believe that's when Jesus got their ministry. So I can deal with the virgin birth story. I mean, it's not a deal breaker for me. I believe it. But I believe that there are people that don't, whom I've had very intelligent conversations with, that it's not a deal breaker for their faith, and it's not a deal breaker for their ministries, and it's okay with me. So Christmas to me has become a money-making machine. I mean, let's face it, people, when we're having Thanksgiving, it used to be a sacred holiday where families got together and sat around and ate and watched football or played football or had their traditions, but all the stores were closed because families were together. Nobody was open. Nobody needed to be. Everybody already had everything they needed by then. The next day the stores would open at a normal time. And then it got to where the stores saw that the earlier that they did this, and they could have these things called doorbusters, maybe lose a little money on an item, maybe have it built cheaply and not lose anything at all, but make everybody think they're getting a great deal, and they have to get there because they have a limited number. And people would get up at daylight and go to the malls to get these doorbusters because they had to have them for somebody. And then a few years ago, it got to where Thanksgiving evening became doorbuster sales. People started shopping. And I can just imagine and see in the future where it's going to get worse and worse. I mean, already radio stations celebrating Christmas from September 25th to December 25th. That's 3 months. A quarter of a whole year celebrating this one holiday. But not once does this radio station mention any of the real reason for Christmas. If there is. I don't know. I get disheartened every year, though. Especially if I have to go to a grocery store or a department store and stand in line. Do this season. Stand in line and just listen. Listen to what people say, how they say it. A lot of people talk about what they're going to get for Christmas. A lot of people talk about what they're getting somebody else, which means that somebody wanted something. And I admit, I fall into the same trap. If somebody asks me and I know I want something, in the family, I'll tell them. But really, it's kind of ludicrous. If you spend $100 on me and I spend $100 on you and I get you something you don't want and you possibly get me something I don't want, then we've both wasted $100. What if we just shake hands and say, "Hey, Merry Christmas, love you," or whatever, What if we do that? Keep your $100. Or even better than that, what if you take that $100 and do what I like to do for some things. I have people in my life that have certain ailments, and I know for a fact that somebody in my life with Parkinson's really thinks it's an awesome gift, because he gets emotional when we donate money in his name. And it doesn't have to be a lot either. We don't have a lot, but we give a little to Parkinson's Foundation, and it does something for him. Of course, everybody knows somebody with heart issues and cancer issues. You can find charities that will use your money wisely. That's another thing I'm very particular about. If they spend too much money in administrative costs, then I think that donations are just going to support their staff, and then the extra goes to whatever the charity is. That's not the charities I look for. I look for charities that use as much of your dollar as they can. I understand about administrative costs, but anyway, that's just me at this time. Christmas has never been the happiest time of the year for me, ever. As a child, I mean, and let me say that I had very normal and good Christmases. I have home movies of toys all over the floor, my brothers and sisters having a great time. It was always, my mom tried to make it as special as she could, but there was always something inside of me that just didn't click with it. I don't know. I've had some Christmases where I really just wanted to skip the whole entire thing and just go, you know, in the woods somewhere and come back with my tent and my backpack after it was all over. But you can't do that, and if you're a pastor, you especially can't do that. So I enjoy the Advent season because it isn't Christmas, and we don't really celebrate Christmas per se at church during the Advent season. We celebrate the coming of Christ, whether it be his coming as an adult, as a child, or just coming into our lives as a Savior. Anyway, that's just all my rantings. Maybe not what you expected. Sorry I wasn't slamming anything around and hollering and screaming and getting all sweaty faced with veins popping out of my neck, but that's not the way I do. I just like to discuss things, and you know, if you have opinions about this, they're welcome. Let me say this: I understand about faith issues. Some people think they're exactly right and everybody else is wrong. As an educated theologian and pastor, let me tell you, my belief is that everybody has an opinion, and mine's not necessarily right. So I don't hold on to things for dear life. I believe there are challenges out there that will challenge and stretch your faith, and we have proof of those things. But you know, your belief is your belief, whether it's a Christian belief or any other religion. It's yours, and who am I to judge it? Nobody. None at all. Anyway, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. I'm probably leaving out some holidays I don't even know around this time. But if you celebrate during this period, happy holidays. I hope you have a good time. And God bless.